Hello, CQ. Hello, CQ. CQ, the Old Friends Net. Time for the Sunday edition of the Old Friends Get Together. And this is W4MEC, your net control for this Sunday. The Old Friends Net meets 3 times a week. Right now, 4 p.m. Eastern, daylight saving time. 3715 is the frequency. We also meet on this frequency on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. in the morning. Everyone is welcome to participate, and even though we are centered on vintage gear, as long as you have a rig that will generate a nice AM signal, you are welcome to join the fun. This is a great place to look for gear or sell something, or if you're looking for a part or some knowledge about something you're trying to fix, this is the place. And this is an old-fashioned roundtable net. I will take check-ins and get everybody in a row, and we'll sit down at the table and go around it. For those wishing to participate, please give W4MEC a call and come now.
N4LQ.
N4 Bravo.
N4IYQ.
W4KR.
WB4NKL.
K1BBC.
WA4FJQ.
Can someone confirm if I heard George between Cliff, NKL, and Tom, FJQ?
For John, BBC.
Did anybody copy George?
I heard John after me, Charlie.
Okay, well, I'll just go down the list here. We'll figure it out. I've got Steve N4LQ, Buddy WB4ARK, John KZ4B, Chuck N4IYQ, Gary K3OS. I wrote that. Let's see. I wrote W4KR. Was that automatic? Stan, and then KN4R, Brian, Cliff, WB4NKL, and Tom, WA4FJQ. Any others for round 1, or who did I miss?
WN4PFI.
Got Doke. Anybody else? Okay, thinking back, I think George doesn't do Sunday because he plays music at his church, so I think he goes and practices and all that. So here's the list. Make sure you know who's before you and after you, so you don't miss your chance. LQ, ARK, 4 Bravo, YQ, IYQ, OS, KR, 4R, NKL, FJQ, and PFI. And good afternoon, everybody. Beautiful day here in Henderson County with about 57 degrees, clear skies, and just a really nice day out there. We had some rain Friday night, about 2 inches, I guess, into Saturday morning. Kind of dreary sort of a day, but cleared up later in the day. Real good. So let's get started with the zoo here with Steve N4LQ in the group, W4MEC.
W4MEC, N4LQ. Running barefoot here in Shelby, about 37 watts from the AF-68. I could have swore that I heard K1VVC right after WB4NKL, and I never did hear Brian, so I'm not sure what happened, but I guess I got my wires crossed. Anyway, it's a little chilly here. I just got back from my 2-mile walk. It's 59, but it doesn't feel like it. And looks like a nice week ahead. So I want to hold it over to Buddy, WB4ARK, N4LQ.
N4LQ, WB4ARK. Well, the band is a little bit iffy today at this time. Copying most everybody, did not copy George, and I guess I got about 95% of the stations, but there's a lot of background noise on everybody's signal. Even Charlie, just get that Charlie. So with the headphones, I can copy most everybody. So over to KZ4B, WB4ARK.
Go ahead, John.
Okay, W4MEC in the group. This is KZ4 Bravo. I hope you're copying me okay. I'm going to sign out on this one, because if I can't hear any better than this, there's no point in me hanging around. I guess, I don't know what it is, but I had ordered tip jacks for a crystal holder for my T150 that's supposed to come in Monday. It's the second time. They messed up the order on the first go-round. And if that comes in, I'll be tickled to death. I'll let everybody know on Tuesday. And my Yaesu FTDX10 came in. Free shipping. And it was second day air, and with the crystal filter it was out the door for around $1,600, which is a raging steal. I think that's the best deal going. And if you've got a noisy location like me, you need the best receiver on the planet, and that's third on the list, at least on paper, on Sherwood's list. So I cannot recommend it enough. I had an ICOM 7300, and it was noisy as the devil. Here, if you're in a quiet location, it's fine. And it has great ergonomics. The FTDX10 ergonomics are not as good. I have short, fat fingers and big hands, so I use a, what do you call it? Oh, Lord. It slips my mind. It's like a little stick with a rubber tip that you use in a graphic screen, because the buttons are too close together. But that's the only downside. Otherwise, the thing walks on water. And it's got better specs, better operating specs than a K3 Plus, K7, or K4. Kenwood 380, and any of the this is fantastic. So on that note, I'm going to say 73. Thanks for calling the net, Charlie. You're weaker than usual, but you're 2-5. But if I can't copy Steve and Buddy, then I'm not going to hear anybody else. So, IYQ in the group, take it away, KZ4B Cliff.
Okay, KZ4 Bravo in 4IYQ. Good afternoon to all the old friends. And thank you, John. I picked up an FTDX10 this week. I also just started playing with it a little bit this afternoon, but you've made me grin, so that'll be good. It's 62 degrees here, pretty sunny out. Started out with a hard frost this morning. I didn't check the temperature, but I looked outside and I thought, geez, the mowed this week, and the grass is really frosted hard. Want to shout out to Cliff. He came over to my part-time workplace. We have a 5K run walk on Saturday. I gave him a call teasing him, and he showed up, and he walked the 5K, and it's a little up and down and hilly, and the weather had just quit raining, but he came in under 50 minutes. So shout out to Cliff. He did a great job. We had a great fundraiser. K3OS in 4IYQ.
Nice little walk is always good. Excuse my voice this morning, gentlemen. I've had laryngitis all weekend long, and this is the best it sounded all week. I don't know what happened, but that's about all that's going on. Beautiful day here. Got my irrigation system all which was just about everybody that I have dialed in. We are for when
All right, good evening, good afternoon rather, K3OS and the crowd, W4KR. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Copying everybody fine. I thought I heard John VVC call in also. Maybe, I don't know. Might check that when you get down to the end, Charlie. See if John Boy is there. Anyway, let's see. As I said, copying everybody. Temperature here is about 48 right now. Man, it's been cold today. Woo! I had some after church. I had some outdoor planning to do. I had some outdoor plans, but not quite. Just enough wind to keep it chilly. We'll keep it trucking here. And Brian, good to hear you this afternoon. Good copy from you, and wonder how the weekend went. KN4R and the group. This is W4KR.
Okay, Stan, very good. W4KR in the group. KN4R on road Camp 350. You can hear the hum and listening on the old black HRO. And man conditions are interesting. Probably long would be my guess today, but I'm copying everybody so far. But Steve, I've never heard. Oh, you were barefoot, so that's one of the reasons why your signal was down. But anyway, Q5 on everybody from here. It's 56 degrees. I just started cutting my grass. Got half of it done before the net, and going to finish the other half. But getting pretty thick, and then I'm going to try to get my irrigation system going maybe tomorrow, Gary. So, and let's see. The Antique Wireless meet went very well. We had we had a couple presentations on Thursday. We had a really nice flea market Friday morning. The rain held off. I think it probably started raining maybe about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it wasn't raining very hard. And by that time, everybody was bringing their stuff in to put into the auction, which started at 7 o'clock on Friday night. And I did not stay for the auction because I didn't see anything. I just had to have. But it looked, the whole event was well attended. I think the fear of rain might have kept a handful of people away. But I think there was certainly, and the phonograph people were there as well. So, I'm pretty sure we're going to have another meet next year. So, in fact, I'd be very surprised if we don't. So, anyway, that's a quick summation. So, over to you, Cliff. WB4NKL in the group, KN4R. KN4R, WB4NKL. Okay, Brian. I enjoyed the wireless meet, and it's good to see some of the folks over there. It was pretty nice here today. I seen 65 there at one time, and I got out and walked again today, which I try to do every day. But and Chuck, thanks for the kudos on the run walk there yesterday, the 5K. I think I come in about the middle of the pack somewhere. I was way behind the runners, but I was ahead of the people on walkers, so there you go. Let's see, not too much else here.
Oh, I did hear John, so I guess I'll turn it over to Tom, but John probably fall in there at the end of the list now. Go ahead, Tom. WA4FJQ, it's WB4NKL.
WB4NKL, this is WA4FJQ. Okay, thanks, Cliff. Yeah, I'm having a really hard time with most of the stations. No problems at all. Charlie, you're really weak as net control. And everybody else down below that, I hardly even know that they're there. Just way down in the noise. But at any rate, I'll listen a little bit and try to hang in there. Maybe conditions, at least here in High Point, will pick up a little bit. So I'm going to turn it down to dope, and we'll see how it goes. WN4PFI, this is WA4FJQ.
Pick it up, dope. Go ahead.
Okay, Charlie, this is WN4PFI. Sorry, Charlie. I am not copying Tom, and also not copying Gary or Brian. Everyone else I'm copying so far. 55 degrees here in Suches, so was sort of sunny, but not so much now. A little more clouds coming in. And I'll keep it moving along. Charlie, there were a couple of carriers came on during some other transmissions, so I suspect there's someone else might want to check in. So I guess back to you, Charlie. I think I was last on the list. W4MEC, WN4PFI.
November 4 Alpha Kilo, checking in late.
Okay, I copied Glenn. John, are you in there, K1VVC?
He doubled with you, Charlie. Call him again.
Okay, all right. We'll put Glenn. Glenn, you're after dope. N4PFI. John, VVC. John, you'll be after Glenn, and then turn it back to B. Go ahead, Glenn. N4AK, W4MEC.
Did Charlie turn it over to me?
Negative. He turned it. No.
He turned it to Glenn, but not you.
Okay. This is November 4 Alpha Kilo, and the band is really wild today. Didn't check in early because of operator error here. The RF gain was down too low. So I guess everybody knows there's supposed to be a flare to hit us in the morning. Just remind everybody a remembrance here of one of our past members, Harold, WA4GIB, that's WA4 George Ida Baker, passed away in 2017. And if the fellows that knew him, he was quite an author of technical books on radio. I know a lot of you remember who he was. So back to you, Charlie. And I'm not copying the stations that are close to me. W4MEC and 4AK. Nope, I think I turned it to John. John, I apologize. K1VBC and 4AK.
Yeah, thanks very much, Clint. N4AK and K1VBC. Modern radio today. If 5,000. And I was M1 Pro 3, and I couldn't copy Charlie. I thought that, but as it turns out, I'm copying everybody, but I'm still not copying Charlie. I mean, that's like the first time in all the years that I've been on this net that I haven't been able to copy Charlie. So I'm very, very confident everything's fine here. Brian, you answered my question in the email. Yeah, we had a good show out of it. My wife Sally, I'll send it back to you. I probably won't be able to copy it. W4FT.
Okay, John, K1VVC, and the old fresh W4MEC. Yeah, you're very weak today, too. I didn't even hear you check in. They said you check in after Cliff, but I didn't hear you. So It's pretty screwy conditions today. I'm copying everybody fairly well, except for Tom. He's very weak here, and I could just barely make out what he was saying. By the time we get to the end there, I'm sure everybody's just fine. Let's see. 4 Bravo John checked out, and I think the rest of the list is intact here. And let's see, what else? Was fixing a meter here, S meter in a can, and didn't realize that a Harbor Freight set of nut drivers, they don't bore the tube. And I put this 1/4-inch nut driver on there. I said, why in the world won't it go down on this screw? And I looked at it, and they didn't drill a hole in the tube. I looked at the rest of them. None of them got a hole drilled in them. So I had to go get a real good Exolite that has a hole in it to take the darn nut off. So I wonder if I can drill them out. I don't know. That's what you get for $6, I guess. Okay, let's start again. N4LQ in the group, W4MEC.
Okay, W4MEC, N4LQ in the group and all that business. Yeah, I'm copying everybody. Some of them are kind of weak. Gary was kind of down in there a little bit, but and John up and down. But I did hear you check in, John. So we had to overlook you a few times there, I guess. Anyway, let's see. Congratulations to Cliff on his outrunning the walkers, or the rollators, or whatever they were. And real good, John, KZ4B, trying to convince us to buy FTDX 10s, Yesus. Anyway, I believe you said that's 2 of them you've got now, so I guess you're going to hoard them or something there, John. Anyway, you're coming in good here, too. No problem at all. And it's good to hear everybody. Not a whole lot going on. I was reading about Spruce Pine, North Carolina, and their quartz crystal mine up there. And that's apparently where a lot of the crystal comes from to make chips. So Spruce Pine is on the map. I don't know if you guys even know where Spruce Pine is, but it's up there in the hills, I guess closer to up there where Dave and them live. Speaking of Dave, I wonder where he is today. So, on we go to Buddy, WB4 ARK, N4LQ.
N4LQ, WB4 ARK. Well, conditions have gotten a little bit better, and Charlie's signal's a little stronger, and your signal, Steve, is improving. But I think I'm going to say 73 because 3/4 of the stations are not readable. They may pick up after a bit, but conditions are pretty noisy today. So we'll say 73. It's good to see you at the Antique Wireless meet, Cliff. So with that, we'll say 73, and hope everybody has a great rest of the day. Hopefully Tuesday will be a little bit better. So over to, I guess John signed out. Gosh, yeah. So I guess it's N4IYQ is next. This is WB4 ARK.
Okay, buddy, WB4 ARK and the group. And hope you have a great day. And John, if you're still listening, hope you have a good day. Good to hear everybody on this bright, sunshiny Sunday afternoon. We're on the old Multi Elmac AF-68 driving the Heathkit SB221 on low power and receiving on the PMR8. Hearing most everyone. Stretched a little hard to hear Tom over in High Point, but band is just a little bit flaky, and yeah, we had. I know, Brian, you mentioned that the rain started about 3 o'clock down there at the get-together Friday. It came on in here and later that afternoon and rained just about all night up until our race started at 10 o'clock, and it quit right before 10, and even had a little bit of mist as everybody came in, but Cliff did everybody proud, and he didn't bypass the sausage links, eggs, pancakes, and a few things like that, so he built his energy back up. But y'all have been proud of him. I'll send a picture out of him crossing the finish line. Charlie, you might mention if you got something in the mail I stuck to you. I hope so. And look forward to seeing some of you at a future Hamfest here before too long. K3OS, Gary, to pick it up and take it in 4IYQ.
Okay, Chuck. N4IYQ, K3OS. All right, well, conditions are a little bit better. Brian is the only one I can't copy. Everybody else I can copy just fine from here. But I'm going to limit my talking due to my voice here, and as you guys can tell. But everything else is out. Oh, by the way, I'm running the Kenwood Twins into the amp. Close to about, if I adjust things right, about 100 watts here. I think it's pretty good, but kind of, as everybody's pointed out, it's pretty noisy here, but I generally, in this location, I run a 20 dB attenuator on the radio here. I just switch that in, and that really helps. So, let's see. Yeah, just stand. W4KR, K3OS.
Okay, Gary, you sounded better that time. K3OS, W4KR. Okay, copied everybody. You know, it's weird. Glenn is the closest, and Glenn is the weakest. And John, it was crazy. I don't usually do signal reports, but there's just one more. Buddy, just as an example, usually you're between 20 and 25 over 9 out here. The farther away, the better. Today, you were solid copy, buddy. You were solid copy at S2 and an S8, so that was the range you were flipping back and forth in. I was on 40 early this morning, and I was initially talking to a chap down in Florida. This was about 6 o'clock this morning, and he was there was a lot of QSB up there this morning on 40 meters. And all of a sudden somebody broke in, and my gosh, I thought he was next door. Turned out to be a VK2. So strange conditions. With that, I'm going to say 7-3s also, and get the rest of the day going. Cliff, congrats on what you did before. On what you did, glad to hear it. And Brian, to you, and sounds like you had a good weekend. Glad to hear it. KN4R, W4KR, see everybody Tuesday.
Okay, Stan, 73s. It's sounding good here. This is KN4R round 2, and interesting conditions. Brown, W1NZR, is listening in. He's not trying to check in because he says conditions aren't very good, but he's up in the northeast part of the state around Mountain Airy, and some people are in the noise, some people he can just barely hear, and that kind of thing. So I'm running a couple 100 watts here at the moment with into the infit halfway. So, and Cliff, congratulations on that walk. I would have walked with you for that great sounding breakfast. I just didn't know they had such a nice breakfast there. No wonder you were hurriedly walking so fast, passing everybody. So, anyway, I'll go ahead and say 73s as well. I need to get back to mowing, and but I hope everybody has a good one, and we'll see you Tuesday, hopefully. So take it away, Cliff. WB4NKL in the group, KN4R, 73s.
Okay, Brian, KN4R, WB4NKL. Yeah, I had to get ahead of some of those guys. You know, I was afraid they might eat up all the breakfast, so that was one reason to push on. I must be the right distance out. I've had 100% copy on everybody. Everybody's coming in good, not real strong, but perfectly readable. Every signal. And I'm just running. I'm running the command set again today, about 70 watts a carrier. And so hopefully I'm getting back to everybody. So I'll stay in for one more round and send it on to Tom if you copy. WA4FJQ, it's WB4NKL.
WB4NKL, it's WA4FJQ. Okay, thanks, Cliff. Conditions here in High Point, QRM City, I guess you'd say. I can only copy a couple of pretty strong stations, and of course I can copy you. But at any rate, it's just really hard to make out what everybody is trying to say. So I don't know if I got an antenna problem or what. But at any rate, I'm going to say 73s and check out since it's really a difficult copy for me. So let me turn it over to Doak. I think Doak comes after me. I couldn't hear him at all. So I'll go to Doak and whoever after me, pick it up, WN4PFI. This is WA4FJQ 73s.
Okay, Doak, your turn again. WN4PFI, W4MEC.
Sorry about that, Charlie. W4MEC, WA4LXK. Let me fix something on the receiver here. Charlie, I'll make this my last. I'm not hearing Tom, and apologize for that. But thank you for calling the net today, and I guess that'll be about it from such as today. And sorry I wasn't able to copy too many folks today. So go ahead and pick it up. N4AK, WN4PFI. I'll be clear. Good afternoon to anyone that can hear me.
Okay. WN4PFI, November 4, Alpha Kilo. Well, conditions have considerably improved, but I copied you all right, and Charlie, I'm beginning to copy you now. So it has been unusual. And if predictions are right in the morning, it's going to be really, really horrible if that storm hits us. I will have to say I've had my FTDX10 for about a month, and it's I used a guy, I think it's KN4HH or some signal like that. No, it wasn't KN4HH. It was another guy on YouTube who has the best setup for your audio. It's very complicated to set up all your audio just perfectly. And so I've taken my time to do that. And Ham Radio Deluxe connected to it almost on its own. So I've had the ICOM 7300 for about 2 or 3 years. And in the FTDX10, it's much quieter. Much quieter. So I'll tell you what, John was telling you the truth. It's a very nice rig. Very nice. I've had Yaesu to start with and ICOMs, and now the Yaesus, I've got the FT991 and the FTDX10. So I really like it very much. They're very small computers nowadays. That's what they are. So, John, to you, and it sounds like that you have the house all to yourself. K1VVC, N4AK.
Yeah, very good, Glenn. N4AK, K1VVC. So I guess everybody now is going to have the FTDX10. We went for the last few was all the multi-Elmac, which almost everybody got. Now it has to be. It looks like its radio really does. And, the SDI receiver just worked really, really well. I hope everybody has a nice week coming up. I don't have too much planned. My wife is away last week and she's away this week, so keeping my social schedule available, going out to lunch with friends. And if Dave LLR had been here, we would have known exactly why conditions are so bad. I'm not sure what Mayor is either. He and I went out to lunch on Friday, and I thought he'd be... And Charlie, I'm starting to hear you. You're starting to come in much better. It's working, so let me sign it over to you, and enjoyed. Glad I made it on. W4MEC, K1VVC.
Well, good, John. K1 VVC in the old friends group, W4MEC. Do we have any super light check-ins that would like to join us for the 73 round? Come now, please. Nothing heard. So we'll do a 73 round here as W4MEC and the old friends. I would have bet $100 that I heard Doak say W4LSK, Lima Sierra Kilo. That's called Lloyd down in Columbus, South Carolina. And who's not on the air anymore. I'm not sure of his status. He withdrew from any contact with us at his request. He didn't explain, but he contacted me one day and told me to remove my name and don't bother picking me up anymore. So, he's still listed as LSK on the records there until 27. So maybe Doak didn't say LSK, but it sure sounded like it. So anyway, so we're on the 73 round here, and I see Buddy's not here, John's not here, 4B John, Gary's left, Stan is left, and I think the rest of them are still there, or I wasn't paying attention. But we'll figure that out here on the 73 round. N4LQ in the group W4MEC.
Okay, this N4LQ, I'm copying everybody just fine up here in Shelby. Yeah, I thought I heard Doak's ID as either WA4 or W4LXK, and I thought, who's that? I don't know. Anyway, been a good net, except for the conditions. Hope it's better next time. Tuesday morning at 9 a.m., maybe it'll be better. So we'll say our 73s to everyone. Turn it over to Chuck if you're still here. N4IYQ, N4LQ.
N4LQ in the group, N4IYQ. Yeah, we're still here for a bit. We always enjoy getting in here when we can on the weekends, since we're usually hanging out at work on Tuesdays and Thursdays. At some point in time when we finally truly retire and don't hang out part-time, we'll get in a little more often. Cliff and I want to make it down to the luncheon again here before too long. We certainly enjoyed that. Charlie, thanks for calling the net. Thank everyone that always calls the net. We appreciate you and appreciate the fellowship. Gary, hope the laryngitis gets to feeling better, and we'll look to see you all next weekend. K3OS, if you're still there to pick it up. If not, Brian will go to you. N4IYQ.
Yeah, I'm still here, at least physically. Okay, thank you, Chuck. N4IYQ, K3OS. Yeah, not too bad on that round. I'm the oddball guy. I had a FTDX10 and an FT101D. And I no longer have them. Wasn't my cup of tea. So everybody's got a different thing that they like. So, but if you have any issues with the DX10, I wrote a whole lot of articles on that thing on the reflector. I can ship you some information if you have trouble setting up the audio and getting it to work digitally. I've got all that stuff done. Anyway, 73s to everybody. Let's see, I thought Stan was still here. W4KR, K3OS. Cliff, over to you.
Okay, it's WB4NKL. Okay, enjoyed it. I wouldn't have known conditions were bad on this end if I hadn't heard it from everybody. I think I'm a pretty good distance away from a lot of the signals. Must be the close-ups, but I'm not having any trouble hearing Chuck, though, but he's only about 3 or 4 hour miles. So 73s, and thanks for calling it, Charlie. And let's see, I believe everybody between me and Glenn got out N4AK, WB4NKL.
Okay, Cliff. Yeah, today was unusual. It started off, I could not copy Charlie, and then I could barely tell that Stan was in there. They're the close ones. And all the far-off signals were just boiling in. And in fact, Chuck, your signal is really boiling in here at sunset this afternoon. You're causing a little overload here on my NC183D. I had to cut the RF gain way back. So anyway, thanks for doing the net for us. John, I got a X by you. I think you checked out, but if not, back to Charlie. This is N4AK.
Somebody came right on top of you.
John's still there, but I'm barely copying.
Okay.
Yeah, John, go ahead.
A suggestion. Hot tea with a lot of honey. Drink a lot of that. Say 73 to everybody. Enjoyed it. K1VVC.
Very good, John. K1VVC and the group W4MEC. Thanks for everybody that checked in today. Well, my desire to buy anything modern is zero. My interest on that is pretty much gone. And if I was going to spend $1,600 on something, there's this Lionel T1444 duplex that I would spend my money on for that. Of course, most people think you're crazy, but that was a cool locomotive when they had it out there. I know you're not locomotive people, maybe Cliff is, but it had 120-mile-an-hour speedometer. They gave it as a loaner to the Illinois Central, I believe, and they ran it from Chicago to New Orleans. And the engineer on one run got it up to pin the meter. They estimated it was doing 145 miles an hour, and this was in the early 1920s. You know, so you talk about bullet trains today. We were doing it with steam 80 years ago, 100 years ago. So we got a long way to come back, I guess. But anyway, 7-3 all. We'll see you on Tuesday morning. It's W4MEC. Shut down the old friends net.
Charlie, you got a minute?